And the ancestors have called me back home.
Yeah. It's like spring break. I'll have to turn it around. But look, we came the wrong way and got stuck out here in the sand. And with Miss United States, how does it feel, Queen? Amazing. Like, look, I've already just fallen in this dirt. My skin is hurting and itching. Knees scraped. I ripped my damn dress. Okay, so Lisa.
Yes.
We went to a strip club.
Yes.
This was your first time, my second time. What is your takeaway?
My take that the girls were funny. The girls were various sizes. There were no plus size girls, but they were very shapes. Tall girls, short girls. A lot of people were even to the point fighting to get to us.
Oh my goodness.
Arguing amongst each other, arguing to make sure that they got paid.
Oh goodness, yeah. I didn't see any cash getting exchanged anywhere in the club. There was no making it rain. There was none of that.
It was none of that. It was all like almost cashless.
Yeah.
And the girls were making sure that they were getting paid.
Who kept track of how many dances they were doing?
The girls had to keep track because at one point they were almost like deceitful about how many dances they actually were doing.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
that's messed up.
I noticed that.
Well, you know what? So this club was a lot different than the one that I went to. In this club, the girls were interacting, walking among the people, and then their technique is to start dancing in front of you. And then after they start dancing in front of you, you know, then all of a sudden, you know, they continue dancing and then they collect their pay, right? So this is a lot different. In the other club, there were girls who were on the stage who were receiving, you know, dollars, you know, $200 Naira notes from people. And here, there were some girls who were walking around, but here, the whole entire club's emphasis was girls grinding on you.
Yeah.
It was very different. It's very different. I had to push two girls off of me.
Yeah, I actually asked one of the young ladies, I said, do you know how to pole dance? And she said, yeah, I actually do. And she said she was one of them that knew how to do it.
Okay.
And she was, I would say, a beginner level pole dancer.
Oh, wow.
And she was very statuesque.
You know what? Hold on. Let me see if I know we can just start from where, I mean, it was dark, so now we got light. It's the 7th day, right?
Hey.
So what happened with the girl who said she could pole dance? What happened to her?
Yeah, she had 1-2 twirls.
And that was it?
That was it.
Oh.
That was it.
Yeah, one girl tried to back up on me with her raw naked ass, and I was like, I had to push her by her waist off. I was just like, I really don't want raw naked ass rubbing on me. I really didn't want that. But you know, that's the hustle right there, because I don't think most guys can say no to someone twerking on them half naked. And so the whole basic gist of the club was girls grinding on you. And it was a security guy who had on this military-ish outfit that I was kind of wanting to see him get out of. But then he told me that he would take it off for me, everything, in the VIP area, but it would cost me $5K. And I was like, I don't know, that just kind of turned me off. I'm like, you're going to take off all of your clothes for 5,000 Naira, which is like 15 bucks. And I'm like, who knows what would happen to me in there? So I said, let me not go in there. Let me not go in there. Then he was looking all right. Then he tried to give me his damn number, which means I think he want to split it open on the side for free. I don't know. Maybe not split it open. Let it hang out. Let it hang out. I don't know. But anyway, how'd you enjoy your dance?
I actually did. She was actually really fun and jolly, but
that was the girl that you said was rice no meat.
It was rice no meat, and she also smelled like urine, unfortunately.
No, please don't say
and
that.
then when the other guy came over, I was like, yeah, you may not want to dance with her.
She smelled like urine.
Like she wasn't that fresh. And you know, so I still, you know.
And you let her rub that gap all over you?
When she did, that's when I backed her up, actually.
Oh.
That's when I was like,
honey, you're not fresh.
You
vaginas because their pussy smell rank.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But
They was really grinding.
Yeah.
So you would think that even if it did have a scent, it would have wiped off on someone's clothes by then. It would have done wipe off.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy, yeah. Because they were cleaning their crotch on people's pants.
Yeah, they were definitely wiping.
Ugh. Well, at least there were no white girls with fake butts there. It was just pure,
Yes.
you know, sisters. So I don't know.
Yeah, that was.
It was about their hustle though, but that is a real hustle.
Yeah.
Because how many people could really, you know, reject a naked person or a person that's half naked that's already starting to dance with them?
And then drink, and then be intoxicated.
Yeah. And speaking of which, one girl just poured herself one of our drinks.
Yep.
I was like, oh, just like that, huh?
600 meters at the roundabout.
Really?
20-30
on Lucky
minutes.
Eve Expressway.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was definitely different than the first club. The first club was more of the entertainment with center stage. This is more of a mingling, and so yeah, it was very interesting. And the girls here were curvier than the ones that were at the last club. So, all right. Well, we'll see you in the next video. Tonight was a great night. Lisa is leaving in an hour or so to grab the bus to Ghana, and so she's gonna have to run back to the room and tightly roll her clothes and get everything packed up. And me, I'm gonna sleep until the morning.
Exit the roundabout onto Lucky Eve Expressway.
My dress should be done either today or the day after, and I have to figure out whether or not
Continue
my
on
hotel
Lucky
is going
Eve
to
Expressway for
extend
1.5
or what's
kilometers.
going to happen. But I know everything is going to work out. I know it's going to work out. All right, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace. All right, hello knockout. Oh goodness, bike cross in front of us. All right, listen, hello knockouts. Tonya TKO here, and I just wanted to give the summation of what happened after my after Parte video, because I realized after I edited that it was not cohesive, and I understand, you know, going through this process is teaching me so much about how people do things in television, because I'm learning that when you tell a story in video, that there is a beginning, there is a middle, and there's an end. And I'm realizing that in some of my videos, there's not a real end. Sometimes there's not a beginning, and sometimes the middle is kind of cut off. So one of the, oh Lord, all right, if you see what is happening out here in the road, it's madness. I didn't even catch it because when I turned the camera around, my hand hit the button and it stopped recording. But nonetheless, so one of the things that I'm learning is that when you tell a story in video, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. You're telling a tale, right? You're telling a progression of things. And some of the times I realize that sometimes there's no beginning. Like I don't start out with like, oh, this is what we're doing. Sometimes in the middle, there's pieces that are missing, and then the end doesn't make sense. So I realized after I edited this video that the end didn't quite make sense because there was never any strip club footage. There was never we're heading to the strip club. And sometimes it's a little bit difficult because when you're in the moment, you know, it's like while you are enjoying yourself, you got to pull out your camera and be like, hey, everybody, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to sum up what happened in the Parte after Parte video, right? So we ended up, we left Shiro. I have fallen into this damn ditch. Well, it wasn't a ditch. We fell into it. Okay, so basically there was like this sewage that was on the street, and there was this curb. So some of the curbs over here are like I'd say maybe a foot and a half high, and I had on this little pencil dress that was closed down by the knees, right? There was the thing of sewage down there, and there was this thing that looked like a cinder block. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna step on this cinder block and then step up, right? When I went to step on the cinder block, it was not a cinder block, it was a piece of styrofoam. So just imagine a styrofoam that comes in with your electronics. So I stepped my foot onto it and I lost my footing because I was about to fall into that damn water. And I was like, from the look of that water, I did not want to fall in it. So I grabbed Lisa because Lisa was like up above, and I grabbed Lisa. Lisa was kind of thrown off because she was holding my hand so I could step up onto the thing. Lisa was thrown off from the imbalance because like when I went to step my foot, because it should have been an easy step, cutesy, get up on the thing and done. one time, see? And then so I went to step on the thing. When I put my foot down on it, the thing sunk down into the water. And listen, knockouts, I was about to go down into the water. Oh, Lord. Hello, knockouts. Tonya TKO here. And this is a Frankenstein video all patched together. Because in actuality, right now, I'm at Boomy's place. Inside of the lovely bedroom. They have the mosquito netting up, and it actually creates a really beautiful backdrop. But I'm recording this because, listen, you don't know what I have to do to get these videos out every day while I'm in Nigeria. I be editing in the Uber, I'm editing in the cafe, I'm editing at someone's house right now. And wherever I find Wi-Fi or I use my data, I'm uploading. So it's like a lot of patchwork. Like, you all don't know. Like, I'm really on this grind. So this is why, listen, support the content creators that you love to watch. You have no idea what goes into creating a show. But for this Frankenstein video, let's just jump back into the story, because I was telling the story and my camera's playing games with me today and deleting footage. I'm recording, it's stopping midstream. I've restarted my phone. I might have to update some of my apps, but you know, when you're not constantly connected to Wi-Fi, the apps don't get updated as they should. So let me jump into finishing this story, because what I was saying is, I was telling the story of how we fell down. And also I want to say this, right? I'm looking at my recorded footage and I seem unhappy. I am not unhappy. If I was unhappy in Lagos, if I was constantly angry or sad or whatever, I would leave. I'm having a really good time. Lagos is amazing. However, when I'm vlogging in the moment and I'm talking about my experience, some of the experiences are troubling experiences or stressful experiences. So in that moment, I'm upset. But for the most part, so you know what I don't know. Because when you're doing real life vlogging, there are sometimes things that happen that just are not pleasing, that are distressing, etc. And I'm noticing that a lot of my observations are coming off as complaints or whatever, but really I'm just chronicling what is happening. I'm going to attempt to, I'm going to attempt to shift my gaze, to shift my focus. Okay? Just because I feel like the balance is a little off. I feel like the balance is not indicative of how much fun I'm actually having. Are things different? Yes. So a lot of my videos are really showcasing some of the differences, right? But let's get back into the story that I was telling right before my camera just decided that it was just going to stop filming. And then also I am losing weight. My double D bras are now got extra space in them. So I think I'm going to have to go back down to a D when I get back to the US. Because see all of this? Anyway, let's go forward. How I fell, right? So we were at Shiro, and Shiro was an interesting club in that there were all of these empty seats. Because we got there early, there were all of these empty seats. First of all, there was a guest list to get in, and it was like the step and repeat where they had people taking photographs of you, and there were a lot of people who were all dressed up. We'd come there, we had to walk from the Uber. Traffic was crazy. We had been given some wrong directions by security at one of the other clubs, and then we ended up at the back end, and so we had to walk all around. We're dripping wet, it's humid, and it's like it's very interesting, because it's like, I don't know. But then I understand, it's like you can't just stay in your house. You can't stay sad just because things are not how you want them to be. You got to live. So there are people who get dressed up. So people were all dressed up. There was like a red carpetish kind of thing. They had this list and they wouldn't let us in. And we had to I had to go through the WhatsApp group and do all of this stuff to be able to get us on the list or give somebody's name to get us into. So then we got into. And people were like asking us to move and all this other stuff, because you could not sit down anywhere. There was not a seat. If you get to a club early in the US, you could sit down, you could have a seat, you could get some type of drinks if you want, but they want you to buy a whole bottle. And so all of these empty seats, many people not sitting in them, and then no one can sit down unless you buy a bottle. But then after the fact, I found out that bottles are not even really that expensive here. You could spend $65, $100, and you could get a bottle. So I'm like, okay, well, that's not bad. But then a bottle to just have a bunch of alcohol, and you're not really in the mood to be drinking like that. But nonetheless, And I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm sniffling like this. Please excuse me. So nonetheless, right? How I fell and got hurt. So we left Shiro. We were walking. There was wall to wall packed traffic. It was not moving. People were out of their cars, and then people started driving over the embankments, driving up the wrong side of the road just to get out of that stuck traffic. People's cars were getting stuck over the embankment because, like, if you don't have a high car, like this guy in a Toyota Camry tried to drive over the embankment, and then he was just suspended in air, just like that. So nonetheless, we're walking. Traffic is crazy, crazy, crazy. There's armed officers, military people in the traffic. Two of them had their fingers on the trigger as they're like directing traffic with their finger on the trigger. That was frightening. So there was like all of this sewage water, right? So we were walking. Then there was all of this sewage water. And you could not cross the street because of the sewage water. And because it was wall to wall and cars were driving all crazy, we didn't know how far down we would need to walk this way in order to get around the water. So Lisa was like, okay, you know what? Let's traverse through the sides. So we were traversing. And then we came to this spot where there was all of this sewage water on the street. And there was it was like in order to get back up onto the upper part of the sidewalk, it was like 18 inches off the ground. It was probably maybe even 24 inches. It was high. And I had on this little pencil dress. So I could not step very easily in the pencil dress. So I saw a cinder block down inside the water. So now the water is black like oil, right? I don't know what's inside this sewage water. I knew that I needed to get over it. So I see a cinder block there and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to step on this cinder block. And then Lisa was holding my hand. I'm like, I'm going to step on this cinder block and then I'm going to go up onto the embankment. I go to step on the cinder block. It's not a cinder block. It's a piece of styrofoam. You know how the ends of like whatever electronics you get or whatever is like shaped in an end, right? So it's a piece of styrofoam that looks kind of like a cinder block. It looks like a piece of a broken cinder block, but it was styrofoam. And when I stepped on it, it sunk into the water. And I swear, I was going to fall into this water. I panicked because I'm like, listen, I was in Guatemala when they had a flesh-eating bacteria in this pond. So I'm like, I don't know what's in this sewage. And whatever it took, I was not going to fall in that. So I felt myself going down. I grabbed Lisa because Lisa's hand was out. And I was like, Lisa, I'm going to fall, right? And she was like, no, you're not going to. It just all happened so quickly. And I was going to fall into the water. And so instead of falling backwards, I decided to fall forward. So I like tried my best to like move my foot to jump now up onto the thing. It didn't work because I was falling into the thing, but I'd rather fall forward without my feet hitting the thing. So I ended up, so Lisa grabbed me and she got me up part of the way, but she lost her balance. And then we both toppled over and then Lisa fell down on me. All I felt was doosh. I was like, doosh, I fell down and then Lisa fell down on me. And I was just like, I was so disturbed because it shouldn't have been that way. It shouldn't have been that way. I was so disturbed. And I felt like dirt. You know how you chew and you feel sand? I had dirt in my hair. I scraped up my arm. My leg is bruised. I have on pants right now so you can't see. So I scraped my knee, the knee that I had already slipped down in the club. Remember we went to the strip club and the ground was marble or whatever tile it was, white tile. And I slipped down those stairs because there was no rubber thing on the stairs. You know how in certain places they have like the little grips on the stairs? So there was no grip on the stairs. I fell down in that club. So then I ended up scraping my doggone knee and my calf, my shin scraped up, and it itched, it burned, it hurt. And thank goodness Lisa is a veterinary tech because she had like this solution that you rub on before surgery that gets rid of staph and staphylococcus. Listen,
a medical person. So the medical people watching this, I do not know the full names of this, but there's like these germs that fly around that once they get inside of you, your ass is grass. So she had like this solution. So we were so perturbed, like we were supposed to go to another spot to hang out with a dude that we had met earlier, but we had to step inside. And then also everybody's late here anyway. So we said we were going to meet this dude and he wasn't even at the spot yet. So we were like, you know what? We're going to go shower. We're going to go get freshened up because my dress ripped. I was dirty. I was annoyed, perturbed, hurt, itching, and sweaty. It was a lot happening. It was a lot. So we went back, we showered. She gave me the solution to rub on our bruises. And, you know, it's healing up now. No infectious type of stuff happening. No swelling, no pus, no discomfort. So that was that, right? Then we went out. That's when we found Xovar, and I think that's where the other video picks up so that you get a cohesive story. And I'm sorry for this Frankenstein footage, but I'm doing the very best that I can. I'm going to get this all together, and then I'm uploading it, and then I will see you all in the next video where I show the actual design from the seamstress. So let's jump back into the videos that were recorded, and then I'll see you later. Peace.
My video just cut out for some reason. I don't know why. So I was already upset because there was no place to sit down, or they would not allow us to sit down in the club. So there was all of these empty seats. There was hardly anybody there. They weren't allowing people to sit down. You had to buy a bottle to sit down. And I was annoyed by that because there wasn't even enough of us to drink a bottle. And then they ended up running out of alcohol. Like I'm in my WhatsApp group, people were wilding out because the club ran out of alcohol. Megan Thee Stallion came through, Davido came through, and then they ended up running out of alcohol. They said it was a vibe, but for me, it wasn't my type of vibe. The music was dumb loud, and then it ended up getting jam-packed. I'm not into the whole jam-packed club scene anymore. I'm into the relax. So like we went to a second place. We went to a place called Xovar, and at Xovar we ended up meeting up with some people who were just chill, like, you know, like your girl Tonya. She's so friendly and outgoing. So I overheard this girl talking and saying she was by herself and she wanted people to come out with her, and I was like, you don't have to be by yourself, come party with us, because we were actually supposed to meet up with a guy that we had met earlier that day, and the guy ended up standing us up because he claimed that he fell asleep because he was so drunk and blah 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 blah. And I was like, okay, whatever, right? But he never answered that night. So we were just sitting at the bar calling and texting, and he just never answered. So we were just sitting there. It was a vibe for me. They were playing Afrobeats music. I was dancing. Some of the times I don't film inside of the establishments because, as you know, YouTube doesn't like music copyright. So YouTube doesn't like copyrighted music inside the videos. So I don't film in a lot of the places that they have music. But it was a vibe. It was low key. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're from New York and you're from these places like Hollywood and these places where you're used to a certain turn up, sometimes you just want to be low key. So then after that, we ended up going to a strip club called Askamaya, right? And while we were going there, I was like, that's a clever name for a strip club, Askamaya, right? Because I'm like, Askamaya is a hot dog company in the U.S. And I'm thinking to myself, what about copyright claims? You can't just call your club a copyrighted U.S. name. Oh, wow. Look at traffic on the... Sorry. Hold on. Look at traffic on the other side. It's wall to wall. I don't know what we're going to do because I don't want to get into that traffic. We might... Oh, damn it. I didn't bring my bag for the material, but my purse, I have a big tote for a purse, so we'll probably do that. So nonetheless, right? Oh my goodness. You know what? I think a portion of my video was not recorded. That's why it went off. You know what? I'm going to go back and listen because I think there's a part of the story that may be disjointed because when I turned the camera around, I thought it turned the video off, but I'm not sure. So I need to check on that. But nonetheless, so I was like, how are you going to have a club called Askamaya, which is a copyrighted U.S. name? But then when we got there, the thing was, oh Lord, there's mosquitoes in the car.
No,
That's not a mosquito?
That place I went down, that was where this thing came in. Yeah.
All right. So listen, so I was like, how you gonna have, so when we went there, the spelling of Askamaya, look, a person is in the fast lane, driving slow, with hazards on in the fast lane. I think somebody lives on the side of the highway over there, but nonetheless, so all right, so listen, the way they spell Askamaya, they got very creative with the spelling, and they spelled it with an Askamaya, Askamaya. So Askamayers. So we went there, and it was a different type of strip club. And I'm thinking that if I go to another establishment, I think I'm just going to chalk it up on YouTube and just film inside of there just to have a cohesive story, because the story didn't make sense, because we ended up going from the restaurant and then talking about the strip club, but never ever announcing we were going to the strip club or any footage in the strip club. So I was like, I don't want people to think that the low-key restaurant that we were in was the strip club, because it was not, because one of the dudes was clowning, doing his dance. I thought that was the funniest thing, but I didn't even listen, when you start drinking and filming, it doesn't really work out. But listen, I wasn't really drinking, just sipping, just a sip, because after that origin situation, I was like, that's not going to be me again. But he was dancing to the song Parte after Parte, and he was doing this little squat down to the ground, and I thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. Everybody was vibing, chilling, and having a good time. But on that note, I'm ending this video, and I'm jumping into the seamstress video, and I'm going to try to do my beginning, middle, and end on that. So Tonya TKO, I hope you're enjoying the videos. Consider contributing to the production of the videos. As you know, we are independent, and there are people who've tried to sponsor me to be able to portray a certain image of Nigeria, of Lagos, and I did not take that offer. So we are independent. This is the real story coming. So if you support it, my Cash App, my PayPal is in the description. Tonya TKO. And listen, contribute to the content you love, and you love the vlog, so contribute to it. Tonya TKO, and I'm out. Peace.
Oh, I feel it is responsible of me to add that no men tried to help me when I fell down. The person who tried to help us up was a woman. And when we were crossing the road, the men seemed, you saw how the first guy just passed by Lisa. It's different here. It's different. I saw some of you talking about, there's no women on the streets. They must be at home resting in their feminine. You got a different idea about what the real is, right? So, I had to actually ask men to help me. One in the front, one in the back. I had to ask them, and I'd be like, I need help, right? Otherwise, like the chivalry thing, I don't know. So that's my ending of that whole story. Peace. See you in the next video.